So it's now 3:05 p.m. on, what is today, Tuesday, May 30th. So I'm going to do my midi-chlorian versus mitochondria video today. Sort of, but so still doing a little bit of research on it. So far it seems to be that, yeah, I think we all know that, sorry, I'm hungry right now, my brain ain't quite working. Yeah, that's the problem when you wake, I actually fell asleep at a decent hour. We watched some Michael Jackson thing on TV last night, came home. I think I fell asleep before 1 in the morning, and then I woke up naturally at 3 something, 3:45 in the morning. Had coffee at 5 in the morning, ate lunch at 9. So I'm hungry, and it's 3 in the afternoon, so it's weird. It's I really want to eat something right now, but I know dinner's in 2 hours. So do I eat something now, or do I wait and just be hungry? Or, when you wake up way too early or way too late and you get your meal times all messed up. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. And I think I'm going to eat anyway, because I am you know when you get so hungry your throat gets sore? Not sick sore, but maybe I have acid reflux. I don't know. This is way off topic, but I'm hungry. My brain ain't all here. Anyhow. So let's see what I can find in the cabinets, because I've already eaten my mac and cheese stuff. Anyhow, so there's an ant. I have ants. Good to know. Okay. Let's try to get back on topic here. Make a frozen dinner. So I think it's pretty much well established that George Lucas, so midi-chlorians were a concept before Star Wars was even written. And I know, midi-chlorians are based on mitochondria. Now, to be fair, I don't know when mitochondria were discovered. So it could have been George Lucas came up with the idea, and then, hey, here's these mitochondria, this fits perfectly, or well enough, and he just used that as a basis. I need to look that up. We're going to look that up. But from what I found out so far, it seems to be the midi-chlorians were based on mitochondria, but they're not the same thing. So what I found so far is that you can go. I'm using mostly the Wikipedia webpage and Wikipedia, and comparing the images, they look the same. But on the Wikipedia page, it says that the Jedi could test for the midi-chlorians in episode 1, using that whatever that thing is, and the red blood cells. However, there are no mitochondria in our red blood cells. There is for I gotta look up how blood is made or formed or created, however you want to word that. But there's some process in, I guess, the making of blood cells that I cannot pronounce for the life of me. I'll put the word here, wherever I'm pointing, in my little sidebar thing. Yay, stutter. And because of that process, the organelles get pushed out, so a mitochondria is an organelle, and it just gets pushed out of the red blood cell, and on its merry, way it goes. Apparently, the red blood cell gets its energy through fermentation. You can look up more on the Wikipedia webpage. I didn't delve into it. I just gleaned over it. And also, still looking into it right now. But, okay, mitochondria, the mitochondrial DNA is passed from mother to child. I have the exact same empty mitochondrial DNA as my mother, as her mother, so on and so forth. My mother's sister and my mother's sister's daughter, we all have the same mitochondrial DNA. My mother's brother has the same DNA too, but his children will have their mothers. So it's just passed on, only women can pass it on. However, in episode 1, obviously with Anakin Skywalker, we don't know, as far as I know, I don't read comics or many books right now, so I don't know if we know anything about Shmi's background. I don't think we do. And it's obvious that midi-chlorians come from, well, midi-chlorians. And for this part, since he's like a special case, it'd be like trying to, you'd have to compare his DNA to Jesus, which we can't exactly do that. So, for the sake of this, comparison, I am completely ignoring the Skywalker line, because special circumstances, yeah. So, I'm trying to, oh, weird color change there. And, alright, where was I? Went to wash the fork and washed a mug instead. This is where I am on the hunger level. And so from what I've found out, from the few families I've looked up from legends on the Wikipedia page, while force sensitivity does seem to be inherited, it doesn't seem to matter if it comes from the mother side or the father side, thus leading me to believe that midi-chlorians are not inherited the same way as mitochondria. So my general consensus is they're not the same thing. So, and then I wonder, okay, so if they're not the same thing, then do people in the Star Wars universe have midi-chlorians instead of mitochondria, or do they have both? Because at least on the Wikipedia page in Legends, there's apparently some dish called the Mitochondria Surprise, and if they were the same thing, why wouldn't the dish just be called the Midi-chlorian Surprise? Or no, Midi-chlorian Crunchy Surprise, or whatever it is. There's something to think about. I might remake this. This video is all stuttery and not focused, so I may remake this video later. But if not, this'll do for now. Yeah, whatever. And I would like to remake this video in the future with better graphics and better wording. Unless I don't exactly stutter, but I kind of blank out in the middle of talking and have these weird, awkward pauses. So without the weird, awkward pauses. But for right now, this one I'm about to cough, so I'm gonna go back. So right now it is 11:42 p.m. on Tuesday, May 30th, and I sort of made this video earlier today, so if I like a clip better from earlier, that will probably explain why the lighting is different and the weird choppy cuts, because I'm going to try to cut out my weird stuttering, sort of random pause type stuttering I do, kind of like that. So anyhow, I've been doing a little research, and by a little research, I mean I kind of Googled this a little bit today, and there's some stuff I already knew. So I'm actually fairly into genealogy. I'm not an expert by any means, just the casual. I've tested with a few ancestry companies. I've read a bit for over the years, so I have a basic understanding. If you want to know anything more in depth, read a book. Talk to a college professor, something, I don't know. But anyhow, so this is, okay, full disclaimer, I am fully aware that Star Wars is a fictional universe, so anything on the midi-chlorian side of this discussion, it's not really a discussion since it's only me. So this topic is obviously purely fictional, so yeah, I'm not like an obsessed fan, but it's fun to speculate. So this is my fan theory as to why we humans can't use the Force, assuming that Earth is somewhere in the Star Wars universe, if not galaxy. Okay, so anyhow, moving on. So I know from my main sources are the Wikipedia webpage and Wikipedia, as well as random Google, like a slight Google search, and something I read in a magazine or on the internet I don't know when ago. But I remember reading some time ago, like during episode 1, that George Lucas came up with the idea of the midi-chlorians way before episode 4 was even like fully written, so it's been around for a while. I don't know when he decided to base the midi-chlorians on mitochondria, because apparently mitochondria, what we have, was discovered in 1960. So it could have been before episode 4? I have no idea. So that aside, let's compare the two. At this point, I don't know if I have no idea if I'll include visuals in this. So there may be visuals in this, there may not be. Probably not. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so when you compare them side by side, again using Wikipedia and Wikipedia pages, the midi-chlorians and that one image of the mitochondria do look fairly similar. I mean, they're based on each other, so yeah, they would look similar. Okay, so in appearance, they kind of got this, they look alike. The names are fairly similar. Okay, but then they differ. They differ in two major ways. Okay, so in episode 1, Qui-Gon tests Anakin's blood, his red blood cells, for his midi-chlorian count. So, and I read on the Wikipedia page that that's how they test for midi-chlorians. They test the midi-chlorians through the red blood cells. Okay? So, in comparison, who knows? Our mitochondria is not in our red blood cells. According to Wikipedia and a Google search, our red blood cells lose their organelles or the mitochondria in the process of being made, which is called I'm gonna butcher this. I'll put it over here wherever I'm pointing. Erythropoiesis. Erythropoiesis. Something like that. So, we do not have mitochondria in our red blood cells versus I'm just going to call everybody Jedi. The Jedi have midi-chlorians in their red blood cells, as well as anyone who is Force sensitive. Let's use Force sensitive. Okay. So there's one strike off them being the same thing. And sorry, my nose is doing that stuff up as I talk thing. It's really annoying. I feel like I have a cold, but I don't. It's like it's all like back here. It's just disgusting, but I can't do this. That's nasty. I'm gonna cut that out. Okay, so sinus problems. Okay, and then the second point. God dang it. Okay. And then the second point against them being that, what is my nose doing? I feel like I have a cold. Like, what is the deal here? Okay, so the second point against midi-chlorians and mitochondria being the same thing is how they're inherited. Now, mitochondria, what we have, is inherited from the mother only. So, I have the exact same mitochondrial DNA as my mother's sister, as my mother's sister's daughters, as my mother's mother, as her mother, and so on and so forth. My mother's brother also has the same mitochondrial DNA. However, his children have their mothers, if that makes any sense. Hopefully y'all kept up with that. So, if you're a guy, you have the same mitochondrial DNA as your mother, but if you have children, they won't inherit yours at all. So it's strictly through the mother. However, midi-chlorians, this is assuming that you need midi-chlorians to be able to use the Force, and I think that's pretty much what the Wikipedia webpage says. You need, like, all humans, as far as I can tell, in the Star Wars universe, or galaxy, whatever, have midi-chlorians, but you need a significant amount of them to be able to manipulate the Force. So, using that. So, on that note, and taking some families from Star Wars Legends, because I don't know enough Force-sensitive human families in the canon universe just yet to be able to compare them. And I'm using humans only because, well, Earth only has humans. Yeah. Just roll with it. And so it seems like a lot of Force-sensitive families can inherit their Force abilities through either parent, mother or father. And for the sake of this discussion / argument / monologue, rant, whatever, I don't know what to call it, I am going to exclude the Skywalker family based on special circumstances, obviously. So, looking at, let's say, what did I look up? Let me pull up my webpage so that I have the other thing, have the erythro thingy back up. So using, like, the Sunriders, the Fells, who else did I use? The Catarns, somebody else. The Queldromas. With those, I know I am not pronouncing those correctly, but with those families, sometimes the force ability was inherited through both parents, the mother or the father. It didn't seem to matter one way or the other. So that leads me to believe that, apart from appearances and slight similarities, midi-chlorians and mitochondria are not the same thing, and apparently the humans of the Star Wars galaxy have midi-chlorians instead of mitochondria, whereas here we in the Milky Way galaxy have mitochondria, which is why we can't use the Force. Just a random video. I'd like to remake this one day with better speaking ability and some nice graphics and some better research, but this'll do for now. Alright, bye. And if anyone else wants to expand on this, you don't really need my go ahead, because, like, nobody owns, like, well, I guess Disney owns the midi-chlorians, and I don't think anybody owns mitochondria, so have that. Just, like, just put me a little link below so I can watch it too. Yeah. Okie dokie. Y'all see me later. Bye. Where am I looking? Yeah.